They deck the halls with alien lights. Weird elves laughing, working nights. A sleigh that's powered by conspiracy. Red-nosed reindeer in therapy. Tinsel tangled in the fringe. Unwrap the truth, the plot begins. It's a nonconformist Christmas, healing and strange. Satanic reindeer, elves deranged. Jingle bells on a different plane. We're sipping eggnog with a side of insane. Santa sleigh, it runs on vibes. Powered by myths and ancient tribes. The elves have questions they won't conform. Dancing around a pagan swarm. Mistletoe hangs upside down. A pot gods live in a tinfoil town. It's a nonconformist Christmas, healing and strange. Satanic reindeer, elves deranged. Jingle bells on a different plane. We're sipping eggnog with a side of insane. It's a nonconformist Christmas, healing and strange. Satanic reindeer, elves deranged. Jingle bells on a different plane. We're sipping eggnog with a side of insane.
Hey, welcome to the Non-Conformist Fringe Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Canarsie, and it is the Festivus season. Festivus for the rest of us. And one of the things that we do over on the Paid For podcast, especially during the holidays, we try to offer a little advice. And I never have a problem embarrassing myself to get my point across. And that's kind of what we're doing today. We're just going to sprinkle a little goodness, a little absurdity, and maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. But the most important thing is that don't feel alone, because you're not. You're absolutely not. And typically, one of the things that we see this time of year is just ghosts of Christmas past. Boy, they come fucking running with the steel dildos every fucking time. And one of the things that I think that a lot of people will notice too is, especially when we look at social media and the way things are operating these days, the people that tell the truth are the ones that are alone and the ones that are sort of categorically tossed into the corner. Because the truth, unfortunately, is something that is no longer valid in society. The lie is the truth and the truth is the lie. And so we're going to talk about Christmas and a bunch of other things. This is sort of a schizophrenic sort of rant, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. But going back to what I was saying about truth tellers ending up alone is because truth tellers don't end up alone because they're cruel. They end up alone because they refuse to play along. And this is all about nonconformity, okay? Even relationships, be it romantic, familial, social, they're not built on any truth. They're built on maintenance, on silence, on knowing what not to say so that things keep functioning in a forward trajectory. And the moment that somebody names reality, the illusion begins to crack. And the truth just doesn't communicate, it exposes, right? It always has. And the exposure is social violence in a world built on pretending. And the real cost across real relationships. Friends will call you dramatic. Family calls you ungrateful. Partners call you difficult. Workplaces call you a problem, not because you're wrong, but because you're inconvenient to them. Because truth requires action. Action requires courage. And courage these days is in short supply. So what ends up happening is truth tellers get quietly removed. But nowhere is this more vicious, more dishonest than online. Because online friendships, relationships, whatever the case may be, that's where the truth goes to die politely. And like I've said before, the internet promised connection, but what it delivered was conditional loyalty at scale. Creators are told, be authentic, be yourself, speak your truth. But what they really mean is be authentic within our comfort zone. Be yourself as long as we like that version, and speak your truth until it challenges what we believe. And the moment that a creator says something real, something that breaks character, something that breaks narrative or breaks expectation, the audience doesn't engage, it revolts. And I think we've seen this. And it doesn't do it, so much loudly. It's more strategic. They unsubscribe, they smear, they whisper. They say that you have concerning posts. Then there's passive-aggressive distance. And audience betrayal isn't rage, it's just withdrawal. Because parasocial relationships are not built on moral truth or even mutual truth. They're built on projection. The audience doesn't see you. They see who you need to be or what they want you to be. And when you stop being that, when you evolve, or when you question or refuse to perform, you become a threat to their internal story. And so there's an unspeakable sort of contract or a deal online. You give us content, validation, and consistency. We give you attention, praise, and belonging. But the truth will violate that contract because when a creator says, I don't agree with you anymore. I've changed. I'm not going to play into this drama. The community is becoming unhealthy. The audience doesn't hear you saying that. They don't hear the honesty. They hear betrayal. How could you not follow these people anymore? Because parasocial attachment turns creators into emotional property. You're not allowed to grow. You're not allowed to change your mind. You're not allowed to contradict. You're not allowed to be human. And the moment that you assert any autonomy whatsoever, the crowd reminds you who they think owns you. And so when you tell the truth, you lose your audience. And the reason why is because truth tellers lose audiences for the same reasons that they often lose friends. They stop performing reassurance. They stop validating bad behavior. They stop feeding the outrage. They stop echoing what people want to hear. And suddenly it's, you've changed. You're not who you used to be. You've fallen off. You sold out. Or worse, you think you're better than us. No, we've just stopped lying to maintain your engagement. And here's the brutal part that most creators will not admit. A large portion of audiences don't want guidance, they don't want truth, and they definitely don't want growth. They want regulation. They want somebody to confirm their anger, to justify their grievances, to mirror their worldview, to absorb their emotional chaos. And the truth disrupts that economy. And so the audience then punishes the creator, not for being wrong, but for refusing to serve them what they want. Online, everything is public. You can watch the numbers drop. You can see the tone shift. You can feel it. You notice comments disappear or they turn cold. And it'll mess with your head if you're not careful because rejection is quantified. Truth tellers online just don't lose people, they lose metrics. And metrics feel like judgment, which is stupid because it's not. And so many creators then retreat. They soften, they walk it back. They apologize for telling the truth instead of standing by it. And that's how integrity erodes. Not all at once, but one simple compromise at a time. And the brutal truth of all of that is there's no soft landing to this. Most people don't want the truth from creators. You guys don't want the truth. You want comfort, you want to be in control, and you want confirmation. And truth tellers, or people who are brutally honest, break parasocial illusions the same way they break unhealthy relationships by refusing to play the role assigned to them. And what does that cost you? Followers, friends, community, belonging, etc. But the part that matters more than the growth charts or comment sections is being alone. And this is advice for some people out there. Being alone with integrity is still better than being surrounded by people who only love the version of you that performs for them. I'll say it again. Being alone with integrity still is better than being surrounded by people who only love the version of you that performs for them. Truth tellers don't end up alone because they failed. They end up alone because the truth filters aggressively. And what does it do? It removes people who needed you silent, audiences who needed your complaints or your compliance, or relationships that depended on your sole performance. And what remains, if anything, is real. Quieter, smaller, but it is real. And real is the only thing that does not rot. And if telling the truth, and this is advice for about 80 content creators, if telling the truth costs you friends, followers, or a platform, good. Because that means it mattered. And so as we get to the holidays, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of different things. Grief, family stuff, relationships. And the holidays have sort of this way of being a beacon should be for hope, right? Excuse me. But it ends up being sort of a juggernaut film strip of shit you don't want to relive. And you have to quit pretending. Nobody cares if you're smiling. Nobody cares if you're saying Merry Christmas while your life is a fucking disaster. Stop pretending. Let people know I'm a pathetic mess. Grab a drink or just leave me the fuck alone. Lose some friends? Fine. They're not coming anyway. And the ones who matter will sit silently and maybe whisper, wow, he's an absolute walking catastrophe. True. And that's okay. You have to laugh at the absurdity. Life is absurd. Death is absurd. Grief is absurd. Your ex dating your former roommate? Perfectly absurd. Your dog knocks over the menorah while Santa inflatables explode in the yard? Comedy gold. Maybe you realize your entire romantic life is one bad fucking shitty sitcom written by sadistic elves? Perfectly fine. Laugh, curse, cry, and then laugh some more. But own your emotions, because grief is chaotic. It hits when you're buying overpriced wrapping paper. It hits when somebody texts you, hey, how are you? And you want to throw your fucking phone into a landfill. It hits when your love life is a dumpster fire and you realize the cat understands you better than any human being ever could. Name it, curse it, swear at it, throw up into your coffee if it helps. Maybe you should, watch movies that make you ugly cry. Dress as an elf and threaten the Christmas tree with a spatula. I don't know. Do whatever it is. It's your holiday. It's your grief. It's your chaos. And yeah, you're spectacularly incompetent, but that's part of your charm. Some people are never going to be what you need. And that's just the truth. An ex ghosted you during mid-coffee? Move on. A friend abandoned you for convenience or somebody else? Excellent. More room for your own pathetic self-pity. Family, judgmental jerk-offs? Mock them silently while eating their burnt turkey leftovers. Happiness is not about being right. It's about laughing at the absurdity, sitting in your ridiculousness, and surviving it anyway. Because you have to survive with sarcasm, brutal honesty, absurdity, and humor. Because life is absurd. People are hypocrites. Death is inevitable. Christmas is a scam. Laugh, curse, cry, eat cookies, drink wine, swear at everybody, including yourself. And if anybody dare complains, just say, yeah, I survived. Go buy your fucking Hallmark card and leave me the fuck alone. Because the ghosts are always going to show up. The lights are always going to fucking blink. The people that you miss are always going to be gone. And me, I'll still be here, crying, laughing, swearing, eating burnt cookies, romantically probably hopeless, socially awkward, and absurdly alive. Still breathing, still laughing, still surviving. And that is the real Christmas miracle. And so how do you survive the holidays when life can be just a real cunt? So listen up. It's that magical glitter-coated, commercially induced clusterfuck time again. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us. Call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. The point is this. Life is terrible. People are terrible. And the holidays are an excuse to put a blinking tree in your living room and pretend everything is okay while slowly, quietly, your soul rots like a forgotten fruitcake in the corner. And if you're here listening to this, go ahead, cry into your coffee, wondering why your ex is posting bikini selfies while your closest friend is ghosting you, and your cat's looking at you like you're the disappointment of the century. And if that's how you feel, welcome. You are in the right place today. And I'm here to tell you how to survive. How to survive the holiday hellscape. The exes turned into demons, the flaming Santas and the raccoons plotting your assassination, and the cosmic joke that is existence. And yes, you're going to laugh while crying, because misery without laughter is just pathetic whining. So let's start with the past. That asshole who shows up in your chat every fucking December, sipping a martini in your ribcage and whispering, remember when things were simpler? Simpler? Sure. Yeah, let's talk simpler. Simpler is the time I dated a girl who dumped me because I overanalyzed. I noticed she had emotional baggage the size of a small planet, and that was a crime. She ghosted me after I asked if we were exclusive. Exclusive. One word. Spoken with decency and rational thought, and suddenly I'm the villain. And maybe there's the ex that came back online like some demonic NPC from a horror game sending texts like, hope you're happy, loser. Yeah, thanks, Demon X. I'm emotionally bankrupt, but at least my cat loves me, and she's a better roommate than you ever were. And at least she can shit in the toilet. The idea here is that past relationships are ghosts, literally. Sometimes they haunt your dreams. Other times they haunt your Instagram feed while you're trying to eat burnt cookies in peace. And that's when you start talking to raccoons. Yeah, raccoons. Your only friends left who aren't actively trying to ruin your life. I swear, if you sit quietly enough, they'll whisper, it's okay, human. You suck, but we get it. And then there's the present. Oh, the present. Blinking lights, commercial jingles, and pressure. Everywhere. Corporate hell, cross-dressed as joy. Smile, share happiness, be grateful, buy more shit you don't need. Meanwhile, my dog is trying to eat a flaming inflatable Santa in the front yard, my neighbor's reindeer has spontaneously combusted, and my lights are flickering like an epileptic firefly. And I'm standing there screaming at the universe trying to survive while a raccoon in a tiny elf hat gives me a side eye like I've lost my one last shred of sanity. And here's the thing. The present doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care that your ex is texting demons from your high school. It doesn't care that your cousin spilled wine on your really good sweater while blaming it on the cat. And it doesn't care that you've burned 3 batches of cookies that now resemble burnt leather and existential despair. The present is literally absurdity itself. If life gives you flaming Santas, you don't cry. You sit down, you pour wine into your cereal bowl, and you call it dinner. That's survival. That's how you do it. And then there's the absent, the dead, the ghosted, the moved away, the emotionally unavailable. Take your pick. Maybe it's a best friend, gone, silent, like a ghost that's been reincarnated as a judgmental raccoon. Maybe it's your cousin posting perfectly curated beach selfies in Mexico while you sit in your living room negotiating peace treaties with flaming Santas and bitter exes. Maybe it's your ex dating someone else who makes more money and has a car. Naturally. Absent ghosts are the worst. They don't even have to say anything. You feel them in the empty chair, the ornaments that broke themselves, the tree that looks like it's slowly judging your life choices. And here's the thing. Life does not give a shit. The universe gives no fucks. And you're the only one left with the ability to laugh at the absurdity while simultaneously crying into burnt cookies, whispering to raccoons like you're their therapist. And yes, the internet. What a gift that is. What a gift that has become. The modern day hellscape where your exes become demons, Your friends become passive-aggressive trolls. And strangers give a life advice for free while actively making your existence quite fucking miserable. I once saw an ex post a photo tagged "Happy Holidays." Meanwhile, I'm sitting on the floor, candle wax dripping on my balls, contemplating whether swearing at the tree will summon an angel or just make me look insane. Online betrayal can be brutal. It's watch somebody you cared about or trusted post their joy, while your notifications are nothing but reminders of how alone and terrible you might have been. And so what do? You curse them silently, you laugh hysterically, and thank the raccoons for at least being on your side. And then there's the whole family dynamic of all of this. Family gatherings, absurdist theater. That's what that is. Aunt Karen insists I eat fruitcakes shaped like a cinder block. Uncle Larry's yelling about politics while wearing a Santa hat and threatening to strangle a menorah. Then there's Cousin Jerry spilling gravy on the cat while laughing like it's a competitive sport. And then there's me, sipping wine from a mug that says world's okayest human, contemplating whether the raccoon in my kitchen is judging me for being single, unsuccessful, or spectacularly pathetic. And your friends, forget it, ghosted, they betrayed, or they're posting pictures of their perfect lives to remind you that your failures exist in high definition. Absurdity is everywhere. Life is a fucking giant dark comedy, and you're the punchline with burnt cookies in hand, waiting for the next act of chaos and circus freaks. So here's the brutal truth. Being right will kill you faster than any ex, flaming Santa, or evil raccoon. Arguing with your family about politics, religion, or the proper way to cook a turkey, forget about it. You're wasting energy that could be spent eating cookies, drinking wine, smoking pot, and laughing at the universe. Online debates, yeah. I think we saw how that went last night. You're literally typing into a void filled with demons, trolls, and exes who are all winning at life while making you question your very existence. Being right is ego masturbation. Happiness is survival. And survival right now means this: pour yourself another drink, burn the cookies if you want, and talk to the raccoons like they're your only remaining friends. Embrace the absurdity. Life is absurd. Grief is absurd. Love is absurd. Your ex dating a demon while you negotiate peace treaties with a raccoon army? That's normal. Dog eating ornaments while the flaming Santa collapses? That's acceptable. Family fights over burnt turkey and political ideologies? That's to be expected. Absurdity is your friend. Laugh at it, curse it, embrace it, survive it, drink wine while contemplating whether the tree is plotting revenge because you didn't water it. And use dark humor and self-deprecation. Because here's the truth. A lot of us are probably terrible at life. I've had moments where I've been terrible at life. We're all terrible at life at one point or another. And that's fine because it's hilarious. Romantic failures, check. Career disasters, check. Social awkwardness and online betrayals, double check. Laugh at yourself. Swear at yourself. Burn cookies in your own honor. Your life is a cosmic joke. And you're both the comedian and the punchline at the same time. And so here's how you survive it. Simple 7 things. Admit it. Everybody's broken. You're broken. I'm broken. The holidays are fucked. Number 2, stop being right. Ego is poison. Happiness is survival. 3, laugh at the absurdity. Flaming Santas, ex-demons, raccoon armies, burnt cookies. They're all a part of the fucking show. 4, own your emotions. Cry, rage, curse, scream. It's okay. It's going to be okay. 5, set boundaries. Protect your fucking sanity. Ghost anyone who makes life worse for you. 6, celebrate the ridiculousness. Small pleasures are lifeboats of the chaos. Wine, cookies, raccoons, whatever the fuck works for you. Survive with human. Number 7, humor. Laugh, curse, repeat. I'll repeat that. Survive with humor. Laugh, curse, repeat. So raise your burnt cookies, your half-empty wine glasses, and give a silent salute to the ghosts, the demons, the flaming Santas, and the raccoon armies of the world. You are going to survive another motherfucking holiday. You're going to survive the chaos. You survived yourself. And remember, Happiness over being right always. Now, get up, go pour yourself another drink and laugh. Because if you don't, the raccoons might. And so Christmas is the season where sanity goes to die in a glitter-filled dumpster. Where lights blink like I said earlier, epileptic fireflies, Christmas carols assault your ears, and the ghosts of your mistakes stand around sipping martinis like they own your ass. And let's be honest, I'm the idiot standing in the middle of it all, crying into a burnt cookie shaped like a reindeer that's already judging me. In the past is such a haunting refrain because the past is nostalgia's sadistic twin. Wearing sequins and whispering, remember when things were better? Better? Yeah, okay. Maybe you once dated a girl who dumped you because you cared too much. You know, because caring about somebody who is also human-shaped tornado of chaos apparently is a crime. Maybe somebody ghosted you after you asked them if you were exclusive. Exclusive. One word, spoken politely, and suddenly you're a fucking monster. Maybe your first love dumped you for your roommate while you sat on the couch drinking wine, practicing your award-winning stare into the void. And me, I'm a tragicomic disaster. Holding up my burnt cookies like a crucifix, imagining my cat negotiating peace treaties with the ghosts of Christmas past. And then there's the present. Louder than a marching band with Tourette syndrome inside of your skull. Smile, be happy. Smile, joy, yay. Sure, I'll just smile while my turkey spontaneously combusts into a glittering inferno. My neighbor's inflatable Santa wrestles with a yard gnome. And the dog is plotting to overthrow me with a pack of chew toys. The present is a holiday acid trip administered by corporate elves, a surreal nightmare dressed in tinsel and neon. And then there's the absent, right? The dead, the ghosted, we said this before, the people that move, people that are emotionally unavailable. You know, pick your choice of apocalypse and run with it. Maybe your cousin's posting selfies from Mexico. Perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect live, perfect everything, but yet there's a big hung donkey standing in the background. Maybe your ex is dating the guy you introduced him to, because naturally that's what happens. Maybe your best friend's just taken off, swallowed by a wormhole that only feeds on social awkwardness and crushed dreams. Because absent ghosts don't need your words. You feel them in the empty chair, the broken ornament, or the existential void in the punch bowl. Maybe you have love issues. Maybe you failed spectacularly. Dates that end with you being chased by a mall Santa dressed like a rhinoceros. Maybe you attempted to flirt while simultaneously tripping over a rogue Christmas tree branch that looks suspiciously like my self-esteem. And you persist. Why? Because misery is hilarious. And maybe your only companion is the burnt cookie that judges you silently and accurately. You can't evict ghosts of the past. You can't bribe them. You can't mute them like a Twitter feed. You have to notice them. You have to nod. You have to cry. You have to laugh. You have to swear. Invite them in. Offer them cookies. Get them shit-faced drunk. Have a good conversation. Grief is not an obstacle. It's a performance art piece staring at you half naked, like a half-naked snowman, and three emotionally unavailable ghosts who refuse to leave. Sometimes it's funny, like maybe texting your ex Merry Christmas and receiving a meme of a raccoon drinking wine with subtitles. You were warned. So quit pretending. Quit pretending. Just quit pretending. Understand that at certain different times of your life, you can be a chaotic disaster. You know, join me in my disaster or just leave me alone. Everything that we go through, we can fix. We can try to fix. And so, how the fuck do we survive all of it? Because the holidays, you know, is that magical time of year when the world pretends everything is perfect, that happiness is mandatory, and family members you can barely fucking tolerate suddenly have a seat at your table and a fork in your face. And if you're anything like me, or anyone with a fucking pulse and a sense of shame, you know that for most of us, the holidays are less joy to the world and more misery to the universe. And so how do you survive being hurt, abandoned, insulted, ghosted, or just generally emotionally crushed during this festive circus of grief? Well, simple. You've got to choose happiness over being right. Embrace the absurd shit and just learn to laugh. Just learn to laugh. And here's some truths. Your family's broken. Your friends are broken. You're fucking broke. We're all just a bunch of emotionally constipated psychos wearing sweaters that say jingle my bells while plotting murder in our heads. Trying to fix somebody? Don't try it. Forget about it. Trying to convince them that your opinion about life, love, politics, or which holiday movie is the most correct? Yeah, okay. You might as well be yelling at a tree while it slowly dies. And the truth is, everybody's wrong. Everybody's selfish. Everybody's insane. If we just accept it and we embrace it and we laugh at it like it's a clown stepping on a rake, we'll be much better off. And here's the kicker. Being right doesn't save your sanity whatsoever. Being right doesn't make the holidays any less painful. Being right just makes you angrier, more frustrated, and probably more alone in a room full of judgmental jerk-offs. And here's an example. Maybe you argue with your uncle about politics, morality, or why Die Hard is objectively actually a Christmas movie, which it is. Congratulations, you're now the grumpy, single, bitter failure that everybody laughs at behind your back while sipping eggnog spiked with resentment. Happiness equals rightness, always. Being right is like pissing in a hurricane. It satisfies your ego for about 30 seconds, and then you're wet, cold, and miserable. And life is absurd. I've said it 10 times, and I'm going to keep saying it. The holidays are absurd. The cat in the Santa hat plotting your death while the neighbor's inflatable Santa flails in the wind. Perfect metaphor for existence. Absurdity is your friend. Laugh at the chaos. Laugh at your own misfortune. Laugh at the burnt turkey, the friend who ghosted you, and the ex posting perfect selfies on Instagram while you silently curse their happiness into the void. Your sibling spilled wine on the carpet? Great, hilarious. You tripped over a tangle of lights and broke your phone? Hilarious. The romantic failure who texted Merry Christmas loser? Comedy gold. Laugh, cry, curse, repeat. It's the only way to survive. And hurt during the holidays it's just inevitable. You can't escape it. Someone's going to criticize your cooking, right? Remind you of your past failures, or leave you on a read after a carefully crafted holiday greeting. You'll feel like a half-naked elf screaming into a hurricane. But here's the secret. Turn that pain into humor. Burnt cookies? Joke that they're artesian charcoal. Awkward family conversations? Call it experimental theater. Romantic heartbreak? Laugh and tell your cat, yeah, I'm emotionally bankrupt, but at least you love me. Dark humor may not erase the pain, but it makes it survivable. And sometimes it can make it even funny. You got to set boundaries like a ruthless dictator. If you have relatives making passive-aggressive comments about your love life, distance yourself from them. Friend posting pictures of a life you don't have, mute, block, drink heavily. The ex who wants closure? Nope. You're not a therapist. You're not a magician. And you don't owe anybody a piece of fucking mind. Self-preservation is not selfish, ladies and gentlemen. It's necessary if you want to survive with your sanity and your sense of humor intact. And happiness doesn't have to be this big thing. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need Instagram likes. Eat cookies like shaped mistakes. They taste better with self-loathing. Watch your dog chase an inflatable reindeer and call it a metaphor for your love life. Drink wine while arguing with the ghosts of Christmas past about why you're single, if that's what it takes. Small, absurd pleasures are life rafts in a sea of fucking chaos, and use them liberally. And here's the truth about life. You're going to fail. You're going to hurt. You will argue, cry, and be left alone in a room full of people. Accept it. Laugh at it. Burn the cookies if you got to do it. You're terrible. Everybody else is terrible. The holidays are human-made hellscape, and that's okay. Breathing counts. Laughing counts. Surviving counts. Being happy rather than being right counts most of all. And listen, sometimes you got to rage, right? Curse the ghost of Christmas past to remind you of every failed relationship. Curse the present, full of tacky lights and social media smugness. Curse the absent who left you alone in a hurricane of gifts, expectations, and grief. Then rest. Laugh at the absurdity, pour another drink, eat another burnt cookie, and tell yourself, I survived. Fuck you, universe. The holidays are fucking terrible. Life can be fucking terrible. People are fucking terrible. But you're alive. You're sarcastic, and you're capable of humor. You can survive. You can laugh. You can choose happiness over being right, even if that means sitting alone in a room full of burnt cookies, a whiskey glass, and a very, very judgmental cat. And that, my friends, is the only holiday miracle you're ever going to fucking need. And so how do we wrap this up like a nice cup of shut the fuck up? Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Stay tuned on the Nonconformist Podcast.
I walk through shadows, streets of gray. Her laughter's gone, it slipped away. I call her name, it fades in air. An echo lost, she's nowhere there. Every corner, every face, still no sign, no single trace. She's my missing piece, my only thread, the part of me that's gone, that fled. I'm breaking slow. Without her here, I'll never know what it means to be whole. I've searched the sunrise, chased the moon. I hum her song, it's out of tune. The stars just blink, they never speak. They hide a path, the one I see. Every whisper, every breeze carries her name, but gives no peace. She's my missing piece, my only thread, the part of me that's gone, that fled. I'm breaking slow. Without her here, I'll never know what it means to be whole. She's my missing piece, my only thread, the part of me that's gone, that fled. I'm breaking slow. Without her here, I'll never know what it means to be whole.
All right, so before we took that quick break, I promised to wrap this up like a nice cup of shut the fuck up. And so this is the holiday special from the center of the dumpster fire that we call life. When flaming Santas exist, exes evolved into demons, haunted ornaments accuse you of moral failure, and the raccoons have a PhD in psychotherapy. All right, so you've been hurt, you've been ghosted, you've been burned, you've been lied to, ignored, and publicly humiliated by your own social media feed. And yet, here you are, listening to my dumbass. And today we're going to survive it together by laughing hysterically at everything that is wrong, absurd, and horrifying in a holiday season, including the subplots you're never going to see coming. Subplot 1, the elf uprising. It started with a whisper. Tinsel, candy, more sugar. At first it was subtle. A few elves muttering among themselves while stuffing stockings. Then it escalated. Elf number 1, armed with a candy cane spear, challenged the authority of the North Pole. Elf number 2, wielding a glitter cannon, declared war on anybody who dared sing Jingle Bells out of tune. And elf number 3, wearing a monocle for some weird fucking reason, issued a manifesto about workplace inequality, dessert distribution, and the ethics of toy manufacturing. And Benny watched from his living room, wine in hand, flaming tree in the corner, raccoon therapist perched on the couch, and muttered, I didn't sign up for this. The raccoon shrugged. Step 1 of surviving the absurd. Accept that the elves will revolt. Laugh, sip wine, and maybe throw a cookie at them. Chaos can be therapeutic. And the lesson is you cannot control the uprising. You can only survive it with humor, alcohol, and minor property damage. And subplot 2, the cursed dick-shaped fruitcakes. Yes, the fruitcake. You know the one. Harder than a medieval brick, cursed by some ancient holiday witch to bring emotional and physical pain to anybody who touches it. Betty's aunt proudly placed it on the table. It gleamed like a monument to all his failed relationships. He tried to cut a slice. The knife bent. The cake emitted a low growl. His ex-demon appeared and whispered, Eat it if you dare. Benny laughed hysterically, then screamed when he bit his finger. And the raccoon therapist calmly noted, Step 2. The universe will send impossible obstacles to make you question your own sanity. Burnt dick cookies, cursed dick fruitcakes, flaming Santas. It's all a part of the same lesson. Survive, laugh, repeat. And the dick-shaped fruitcake eventually tossed into the fireplace, where it exploded into glitter and what smelled suspiciously like regret. And the lesson is pain can be literal, figurative, and edible. And the secret is finding humor while surviving the chaos and madness. And that's what you have to do. And encounter 3 would be the flaming Santas, already covered, but now compounded by the elf uprising, the dick-shaped fruitcake exploding midair. Benny dodges candy cane spears while sipping wine, realizing that survival isn't about dignity. It's about laughing through the chaos. And ornaments whisper gossip, accusations, and unsolicited life advice. Haunted ornaments, that is. And the ornament on your tree claims your cat is smarter than you. Also, your ex is a demon. Benny laughs, and the raccoon nods approvingly. Maybe another ex posts a holiday selfie with captions like, Blessed, better than you, impress your friends. Benny imagines the ex as a full-on demon with Wi-Fi power stealing his karma and trolling his soul. Laughter ensues. He eats another burnt cookie. Maybe past friends appear as ghosts to you. One sighs judgmentally. Another rolls its eyes. A third mutters, We warned you about life, but you would not listen. Benny waves his wine glass and shouts, Welcome to the party, assholes. Bring your haunted energy. I can handle it. In between the bites of cookies, the raccoon dispenses wisdom. He says, Pain is inevitable. Absurdity is necessary. Laughing at yourself is mandatory. Happiness over being right, always. And we talked about the 7 things you need to do. I'll remind you again. Admit your misery. Stop being right. Embrace absurdity. Set boundaries. Celebrate small joys. Laugh at yourself constantly. You're a fucking mess. Own it. And survive with human. That is your superpower. survive with humor. So Benny stands in the middle of the living room. Flaming Santas crash into the elf barricade. The cursed dick-shaped fruitcake explodes with glitter and shame. The Demon X attempts to haunt his Wi-Fi. The haunted ornaments levitate and shout insults. The cat looks smugly indifferent, and the raccoon therapist nods sagely. And Benny raises his wine glass again and shouts, I survive, I laugh, I eat burnt cookies, I am happy. And the chaos freezes for a second, and he takes a bite of the cookie, and the world resumes its insanity, and Benny smiles. And the lesson is survival is not perfection. It's laughter, it's absurdity, and it's owning your failures while drinking wine. Listen, the reality is this. Pain is inevitable. Betrayal is inevitable. Exes will become fucking demons. Inflatable Santas are going to burn. Haunted ornaments are going to judge. Elves are going to revolt. Dick-shaped fruitcakes are going to curse. But you're alive. You're absurd. You're capable of laughing at everything while surviving. Happiness equals being right, always. Burnt cookies equal perfect cookies. Laughter equals dignity. And sometimes, just sometimes, the universe is a fucking circus, and you're the star. You're the clown, and the audience all at once. And the secret is, if you can laugh through all of that, congratulations, you've survived Christmas. You've survived life. And the raccoons will salute you. And so the most important thing I want you to take from this, in my absurd musings, and I've said this on the other podcast, and I'm going to regurgitate a little bit of it here before we get out of here. Nobody can tell you how long it takes to grieve. Nobody can tell you how to grieve. Because there seems to be this fucking standard where it's get over it. It's time to move on. People that tell you that have never experienced what you have. And I think anybody that tells you that and has experienced it is probably on drugs. They're taking Quaaludes rectally. Do Quaaludes even fucking exist anymore? I feel like we all missed the Quaalude train. The reality is this. We all go through different things. And there's no solve-all. What works for me, what works for Billy, Tommy, Joe, Chris, Dean, may not work for you. And so here's the prescription. This holiday season, if you start feeling it, this is what I want you to do. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel for 10 minutes. Set a fucking alarm on your iPhone or your Android, whatever it is you're using. Set an alarm for 10 minutes. Allow yourself to feel, handle it how you need to. And when that alarm goes up, you get the fuck up from the chair, the bed, whatever you're doing, and go for a walk. Clean the house. Read a book. Do something to distract yourself. Because the greatest sort of negative thing you can do is to wallow in that. Because we have a tendency, you go back to when you were a kid in junior high, right? You first start dating boys or girls or whatever it is you're into. And you have these songs that are very attached to sort of the trajectory of your pseudo relationship. And maybe that ends. What's the first thing you do? And all of you are nodding your heads right now. Yeah, we listen to those songs. You probably still do. There's probably a part of you that could be walking down the street today. You hear something from 1992 and you're like, oh, fuck, I remember this song. And you remember who it's attached to. And all of a sudden, those feelings, those emotions come roaring back to your ass like a fucking freight train of dildos. And so you guys know what I'm talking about. So allow yourself to feel. Take that 10 minutes. And if you have to do it 4 times a day on a Monday, fine. You take 40 minutes out of your day in 10-minute intervals to deal with it. But then on Tuesday, try it 3 times. Wednesday, 2 times. Do not wallow in it. And don't second guess everything, because I'm here to tell you this, and this is a cold hard truth. You're never going to get the answers. You're never going to get them. You're never going to get the answers for why dad left, or why mom got cancer, or why this relative disappeared, or why your child was taken from you. You're never going to get those answers. And pounding your fist and asking God is not going to make it any more clear. And nobody's saying you have to accept all the futility of the world's ball bag, because you don't. But you also cannot change it. And that's the truth. And I once said this a long time ago. I was never the same after my father died. I wasn't, and I'm still not. I'm just not. I don't laugh the same. I don't think the same. I'm not the same person. I mean, I'm me, but just a very warped version, because that sort of catastrophic loss changes you, because we all think our parents are superheroes, and it's never going to happen to them, and it does. And it's a weird place to be, because often when I think about, my parents or my father, I looked at him like Superman. I remember him carrying me around as I was a kid. And here I was at 25 years old carrying him. And no child should ever have to do that, but it's necessary. Because all the times your parents carry you, you carry them. That's what you do. And so that has a way of changing you. It has a way of manifesting in ways that are weird. But out of everything so fucking tragic, sort of grows, sort of gives root to, I guess the only way to explain it is like the dandelion that grows in the crack of cement. Against all odds, it pushes up through the crack. And that's how I sort of look at it. And it takes a long time. You'll never get over it. Here's the thing. People say, well, in time it gets better. No, in time you just learn how to deal with it differently. And a lot of good can come out of the most tragic shit. Who I was, who I became after that event, two different people. Same guy, just different look at life. And so the point I'm trying to hit home to all of you is that you can't erase the past. You can't undead the dead. But what you can do is realize that you had an X amount of years with whoever it is, be it your father, your mother, your ex, your wife, your kid, whatever the case may be. And nobody can ever take that away from you. And those are the things that are most important. Memories, because nobody can take that from you. Nobody can. Not a prison cell, not a demon X, not a fucking flaming Santa, nothing. Those are yours. You own them, treasure them, and you get to look at them and peek into them and feel them when you choose to. And so don't give up on yourself. Even if you're going through it right now, don't give up on yourself. Because healing comes when the soul is ready. So don't let anybody tell you a time period. Don't let anybody tell you how to do it. You find what works for you and you just keep doing it. But don't you dare wallow. Don't wallow and comfort yourself in that misery. Because the longer you do that, the harder it's going to be to get back up. And always get back up. And pat yourself on the goddamn back. You're still standing here. You're still sitting here. You're still here. Because I know a lot of people, they have those thoughts. Oh, I just can't do this anymore, blah, 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 blah. You wonder what life would be like without you around. Stop thinking that way. Embrace the chaos. Embrace the sadness. And fight like hell to survive it. Fight like hell to survive. Because survival is everything. So, I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. We'll be back on the Nonconformist Fringe podcast after Christmas. And I hope you guys are at least getting something out of this. Be kind to one another. Do something for somebody else. And remember, This is not permanent. It's temporary. You will always feel it. It will always hurt, but it will get better in time, and you will laugh more than you will cry. And that I promise you, as long as you continue to fight. Merry Christmas, everybody.
But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how